It's common sense, but because of the pervasiveness and thickness of cognitive dissonance this day and age, it needs to be repeated time and time again. When supporters throw chunks of money at politicians, they own those politicians and affect the policies that those politicians enact once they're in office. This is a post by Dave Smith, who says this is insane, and it truly is. But you know what's more insane is that Dave Smith voted for this clear Rothschild's owned charlatan. Listen to what this guy says and listen to what he admits about one of his top donors, Miriam Adelson, and of her choice on what she thinks is better, the United States or Israel.
Broken promises from many other American presidents, you know that. They kept promising. I never understood it until I got there. There was a lot of pressure put on these presidents. It was put on me too, but I didn't yield to the pressure. But every president for decades said, we're going to do it. The difference is I kept my promise and officially recognized the capital of Israel and moved the American embassy to Jerusalem. Isn't that right, Miriam? Look at Miriam. She's back there. Stand up, Miriam. Stand up. Miriam and Sheldon would come into the office. They'd call me. He'd call me. I think they had more trips to the White House than anybody else I could think of. Look at her sitting there so innocently. She's got 60 billion in the bank, 60 billion. And I think she's saying no more. And she loves Israel, but she loves it, and they would come in, and her husband was a very aggressive man, but I loved him. He was a very aggressive, very supportive of me. And he'd call up, can I come over and see you? I say, Sheldon, I'm the President of the United States. It doesn't work that way. He'd come in,
He'd come in anyway. I'm the President of the United States, but I'm Sheldon Adelson. And this is a guy where you know his name. What about the powers that be that are above the Sheldon and Miriam Adelsons of the world and the Donald Trumps of the world? And yet, Sheldon Adelson got an audience with the President of the United States whenever he wanted. Why? Because he bought the President of the United States, and he's going to get what he paid for. And what he paid for is control. And that, I agree, Dave Smith, is insane. But you ain't heard nothing yet.
But they were very responsible for so much, including getting me thinking about Golan Heights, which is probably one of the greatest things to ever happen to Israel.
By the way, just as a reminder, the top three donors to the Trump campaign in the last election cycle was number one, Elon Musk, $277 million, Miriam Adelson, $132 million, and banking heir Timothy Mellon, $125 million. And again, when they pay that kind of money, when they put down that kind of cash, which really to them is just a drop in the bucket, they expect something in return for that investment.
Miriam, stand up, please. She really is. I mean, she loves this country. She loves this country. Her and her husband are so incredible. We miss him so dearly. But I actually asked her, I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once, I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel, I must say. We love you. Thank you, darling, for being here. That's a great honor. Great.
So Miriam and the Adelsons own Trump, and they like Israel better. That's not make America great again. That's make Israel first again. See that flag behind him? Guess who owns him? And he's speaking the truth here for once. I mean, this guy's used to lying. He is telling you the dead on truth. Israel owns him. Israel gets preference. When they call him up on speed dial, he jumps and they get an audience with the President of the United States anytime they want. And stop trying to deceive yourself. If you voted for this guy, this is exactly what you voted for. No, you may not have intended it, but when you vote for the person, you get the policies, you get the parasites, you get the psychopathy, and you get the megalomaniacal psychopathic billionaires and trillionaires who own these political puppets. And it's the Dave Smiths of the world who make all of this possible. So yes, Dave, this is insane. And you were insane to walk away from principle and vote for parasites. In other news, watch how this CIA officer explains how the government baits and tricks people into committing crimes online. He says they create posts and then they have fake social media profiles respond to posts in a way that will trigger their target and push them, quote, to where they have no choice but to act on their impulse.
You can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do.
How?
You set them up. You create the situation to where they have no choice but to act on their impulse. And once they act on that impulse, then we call that entrapment. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens, right?
And how does that happen?
You put a post out there, or you have someone fake profile say something that triggers, that we know is going to trigger them, right? Like, we already know your history. If we're to that point, we already know everything about it. So we're like, oh, this will piss them off. Sometimes you light the fuse and just wait for it to follow. Nothing like putting out a fake social media thing to like really get people mad. Post fake news. Sometimes it's it's not fake. It's embellished a little bit. You can kind of put.
If you don't think that they're constantly watching you, I'm talking about the FBI and the CIA and the DOJ, that they're constantly watching you, you have no idea what's going on. You need to be very careful what you post online and who you respond to and how you respond to it. So in summary, you thought that this guy with the funny hair was actually the one running the country, when it's actually this guy with the funny hair who's calling the shots. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. If you want to support this channel, you can do it for free. Just like this video, share it with everybody you know, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon. If you want to support further, grab a shirt like this one, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, and here I am stuck in the middle with you. If you want to support further, the links are in the description, but remember, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance. And indifference to that notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. Let's stop securing our own oppression, stop voting for psychopathic morons, and let's start today. I'll see you in the next video.